I broke my tripod. This is Toki reporting in. We finished another batch of assignments and we're about to continue our stuff.
But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, maybe you'll get sick of being the...
We're diving right into it because we got no time to lose. Otakuthon is coming so fast and we have so much left to do. After paper macheing the foam base with a layer of newspaper, I decided to add another layer of quote-unquote paper mache using gift wrap tissue. This will help strengthen the staff a tiny bit more and offer a blank canvas for the paint to go on.
Never really know just what you want. With you, I don't...
So it took me a few days to add 2 more coats. I'm actually still working on it right now, but we celebrated my birthday last Tuesday and somebody kindly gifted me enough Kofis to buy a new tripod. So it arrived and we're gonna open it together. My last tripod was a UB size one and I was gonna buy another UB size tripod too, but the Amazon Basics version was cheaper and we're living on a budget here.
If you guys don't remember, my last tripod just kind of decomposed as we were filming. A tripod of this style will definitely help me film faster because I won't need to find weird elevated surfaces to put my tripod on. It's a bit clunkier but still surprisingly very compact.
Alright, big brain me. Here's my pile of laundry. At least I finally folded it. Upgraded setup!
And we're back in business working on the hat. I actually started this hat like 2 years ago. I had the time to move twice before I even touched it again. But here we are with no choice to finish it, so we got a few boo-boos trying to fix up the metal wireframe. After we're pleased with the shape of the frame, we can go ahead and wrap it with foam wrap so that it has a little bit more of a structure. We chose this material just because it's really light. I did hesitate to remake this whole hat out of EVA foam, but I thought that would have been a big waste of all the metal that I used, so we're committed to plan A.
Hey, we are today July 2nd, aka past the amount of time that I have allocated myself to working on Yamu. I have a lot of accessories left: the forehead gem, the ear shell, the hat, and finishing the staff. The staff just needs painting though, so that shouldn't be too bad. Currently working on the hat is the most complicated thing. Oh yeah, wait, I have the wig to work on too. Okay, let's just get to it. Oh yeah, and I have a temporary AC now, so if you hear a brrr in the background, well, you'll know what it is. So here we have that infamous hat. I have been working on expanding it so that it fits my head a little bit better, and we have drawn out some lines so that we can try and find a way to pattern it and cover it with fabric. The hat right here and the pattern right here. I traced out some lines to hopefully be able to make some sort of fabric for it.
Just bear with me a little longer, guys. I promise this is the last vlog working on Yamu.
I do not ever guarantee the success of anything, and this is no exception to that.
It actually took me a really long time to figure out how to do this, but the best approach to any problem in life is simply just to break things down and tackle it.
I made the back of it too. We're gonna pin it and see if the shape looks right, otherwise we'll have to figure something out. So the hat is pretty cool, but the thing is, it doesn't really hold on my head. I'm kind of balancing it right now. It's backside heavy, so it kind of just falls backwards all the time, and I need to find a way to either counterweight that or, I don't know, put a clip in my wig or something so that it doesn't move too much. Or I just walk around con like an old lady. As I was sharing my progress on Instagram, A lot of people thought it was Gandalf's hat or that new girl from that new video game who's all blue. Fortunately, Gandalf is on the to-do list, but that video game girl, although her design is like super cool, might be too much for me right now. Let's start by finishing this one before we talk about any other ones. It's probably been a while since you've seen my dress. As you can see, the collar here is very flappy and has no structure. It's just holding on right now from a pin that's on her neck, and I can't really do that to myself. Oops. Oh yeah, it's been so long since I finished this that it is falling apart. So we're gonna add a metal wire to add more structure to this. That way I won't have to juggle this on top of juggling the hat and the staff. Today we're gonna have a big cost crunching day. My friend Murasaku Cosplay is over, so we're gonna be hustling on a lot of stuff. Get ahead so that we don't have to last minute cost crunch. So let's get working on the ears. Right here and right here.
Carving into foam, although a not very sustainable material, is probably one of the most satisfying thing ever in cosplay. You just need to make sure that you have a really sharp X-Acto knife though, and really fine grit sandpaper, which I didn't have, so to compensate for that I had to use some filler to fill in the larger holes.
This is probably the stupidest thing ever that I figured out. So if I just leave it, it will fall, right? The hat is too heavy in the back, but if I put just a simple counterweight, it holds. Debating on creating a little pocket for my phone on top of my hat. Oh, hey, excuse me, ma'am. I think your hat is ringing. I've thought about like adding straps to my hat and buckles inside the hat. Buckle it to the wig, but that is insane. So this seems to be the least insane of all options. I've been so excited to use my balcony to Dremel, but it's so hot. I'm like hiding in the shade. There's a shady spot there. Out and bought a few things that I needed for the rest of my cosplay. This is to make an inskirt, or like the crinoline slash tulle slash the petticoat that will go under my skirt to make it a bit puffier so that we can see and appreciate more of the details. This thin, almost black fabric that was on sale is going to be used to cover the inside of the hat, and I bought some paint that will be used in an airbrush to finish the staff. Wait! I also got a new head. But aside from that, I am actually still missing a few things. I think I'll just get them as we go. Will you get them for me? I drew this on a receipt. I'm not sure if it'll turn out the way that I want it, but I basically don't want the whole thing to be covered because I am fabric cheap.
It is also gonna be about 40 degrees Celsius at con, so I thought the less fabric that we have, the more breathability we will gain. After cutting the many yards of crinoline, they will come together to form an improvised tiered open petticoat. Some fabrics you can just rip into straight cuts, and when you can do that, definitely do that because it saves so much time. Besides, it always ends up much straighter than it would have been if I cut it otherwise. Accurate to the doodle on the receipt, we're measuring out each part before we assemble them all. Here, I just want us to appreciate how much better it looks with a petticoat under. It helps flare out the skirt so much more and open up the pleats so that we can see all the small details that I worked so hard on. I mean, we see them just a tad bit more, but just for my sanity, that was worth the effort.
So I used like an old bra clasp to close this up. I made some buttonholes on the petticoat so that it can attach to the dress and minimize the gap between both so that both can kind of stay together. And with that done, we can start working on the hat again. The scary part. Another night, and I repinned my hat because the fabric that I had was not enough to cover it all around, and I had to space out the folds a little bit more. There's actually a heat wave right now, and they promised a storm, but I don't think it rained yet. So this weekend might be hell unless the winds just push the clouds away. It looks like a giant butthole. I have no idea how I'm gonna do this without poking myself, but good luck to me. I think the next part is for me to secure this to the bottom of the hat. And then once that's stable, I think we can sew the top to it and see if we need to add more decoration.
Ah yes, hand sewing galore. I've always kind of wanted a mushroom hat, so this is kind of a precursor to it, and it looks so cute. I know this is a Magi cosplay, but if you guys thought that my staff magically finished while I worked on other stuff, no, it didn't happen like that. But Murasaku Cosplay is back with his airbrush and air compressor so that we can get some work done. First, we have to mix up some paint and swatch it to make sure that it's the color that we want.
Watch me spill it everywhere.
And then we paint.
The staff is painted and it's a bit darker than the color that I would like. There's still shading to add, so a bit of shadows and a bit of highlights. I was aiming for Pepto-Bismol pink though. That is like dried up Pepto-Bismol, maybe. We're gonna use my own stash of paint though to shadow it. If I can find the right pink. I think there's another pink somewhere though. Oh, there it is. So these pinks I had bought back when I was working on Heartseeker Ash back in 2016, 17, 18. In any case, they'll be useful to me again.
In the next few minutes, you can see me experimenting with a few shading techniques. Despite me always starting with a brush, I always find myself diving right in with my hands. I tried a bit of dry brushing and dry erasing, but I think ultimately the best technique was just to dry brush. I also finished painting my earpieces and decided a way to fix them to my head. I created this wannabe headband with metal wires. And the large gap that you see is actually to accommodate for my wig. Dry brushing actually went a lot faster and easier after I understood how much paint I needed on the brush and the consistency of the paint. It was super fun to do because you just let yourself loose on your prop.
I am living on 3 hours of sleep. Tomorrow is Otakuthon. I just finished submitting a major lab, but there's still the report of that one to submit and another lab to submit. Ugh. Anyways, it's almost con time and the crunch is real. What's left basically is the hat, and I need to sew the tip together and need to fuse the top and the bottom together. After that, I think there's just the wig left. There's just a tiny hole left, and you might be wondering, where the heck am I? I've made it in one piece to my friend's house where I'll be staying for the weekend. My voice sounds weird right now because it's 4 a.m. and I should be sleeping because con is today. Tomorrow night after the con, I'll probably be styling YAMRAIHA's wig. And after that we should be done. But on my way here I actually realized that I forgot her forehead jewel thing. I might just skip it for this time and add it at a future time when I'm gonna re-cosplay her, because I can't bother right now. I really can't. See y'all in the morning.
And by morning, I meant night. After a long day at con, we're back on the con crunch.
I put up the wig, but for the last 15 minutes I was distracted with my lab report. Typing with nails. I don't get how people do it. I'm pretty sure that she has all of her hair going in the front. But I've seen some people do like half-half, and I kind of like that better, I think. I'll just start by her bangs.
I generally find it a lot easier to style a wig by taming it down. So first we're gonna plump it up by crimping everything. There's also a lot of backcombing involved and a little bit of steam. As for the bangs on the back of the head, I'm going with the crisscross technique to hide the fishnet under.
So usually the problem is that the wig is not thick enough. This wig is way too thick. And it's 40 degrees tomorrow at con, and I have no intention to die suffocating under this wig. I've already removed this much hair. I am continuously hacking at it so that I can remove more hair. You probably wouldn't believe me if I said that it was almost 5 a.m. so I've made an absolute mess getting ready for tomorrow. My wig should be ready for tomorrow. So close yet so far. We are at the location of our first shoot. Oh wait, I'm not supposed to show his face. Again, the amazing BRQ and my amazing volunteer handler for the first hour, Surgeon Chen. Oh my god! Oh my god! He arrived with Moisha! Thank you, Nam! Thank you! Yeah, so I forgot my stuff at home and he drove all the way back to get it!
And on that, we conclude this 10-part cos vlog making YAMRAIHA. Thank you so much for joining me on this long-ass vlog adventure. She's definitely not the most complicated cosplay, but I have been working on her for the last 3 years. I'm gonna miss her tremendously because she kept me company during the whole pandemic. What am I gonna do to fill the void now? Haha, joke. I have so much to do.
Issues in my head. I like you in my bed, but you keep me on red. Oh.
Officially introducing you guys to my Lord of the Rings posters. They're so beautiful. Oh. I can even try to do some TikTok dances for you guys now. No, I'm kidding. I'm not gonna do that.